Welcome to Bible Study with Fred. Let's have a Bible study on John chapter 11, verses 33 through 44. Now, this is going to be part one of my comments. I'm going to break them in two parts so you can watch the other part tomorrow. So John 11:33. When Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping which came with her, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled, and said, Where have ye laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Then said the Jews, Behold how he loved him. And some of them said, Could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that even this man should not have died? Jesus therefore again groaning in himself cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone laid upon it. Jesus said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith unto him, Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he hath been dead 4 days. Jesus saith unto her, Said I not unto thee that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. And I knew that thou hearest me always. But because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with graveclothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Jesus saith unto them, Loose him and let him go. Now, our sorrow over death, our fear of it, and the grief it brings have always been a burden on the mind of man and woman. Some people have come up with philosophies that deny a just and compassionate God, or a God at all, could exist with such facts presented to us. A famous evolutionary scientist and militant atheist, Richard Dawkins, in his book, A River Out of Eden, A Darwinian View of Life, on pages 154 and 155. That was printed in 1995. He said this, very about death and suffering. The total amount of suffering per year in the natural world is beyond all decent contemplation. Now he understood what you see around us, but he applied this false conclusion that the universe is an undirected thing with no God present. And he said, during the minute it takes me to compose this sentence, thousands of animals are being eaten alive. Others are running for their lives, whimpering with fear. Others are slowly being devoured from within by rasping parasites. Thousands of all kinds are dying of starvation, thirst, and disease. It must be so. If there ever is a time of plenty, this very fact will automatically lead to an increase in the population until the natural state of starvation and misery is restored. Then he goes on to say, in a universe of blind physical forces and genetic replication, some people are going to get hurt, other people are going to get lucky, and you won't find any rhyme or reason in it, nor any justice. The universe that we observe has precisely the properties we should expect if there is, at bottom, no design, no purpose, no evil, no good, nothing but blind, pitiless indifference. Now, another atheist scientist does not go so far in his explanation, but confirms an important fact of biology. Now, this is from William R. Clark, Sex and the Origins of Death, printed in 1998. This is page 54. This is his quote here. It's very interesting. Humans on rare occasions may survive to 120 years, some turtles to 200. But all animals eventually die. Many single-cell organisms may die as a result of accident or starvation. In fact, the vast majority do, but there is nothing programmed into them that says they must die. Death did not appear simultaneously with life. This is one of the most important and profound statements in all of biology. At the very least, it deserves repetition. Death is not inextricably intertwined with the definition of life. Wow. The Bible, however, tells us that death, not present in God's original creation, was caused by man's sin, his disobedience. Romans 5:12. Wherefore, as by one man's sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. For arrogant humans who object to being compared to beasts, with whom we have death in common, Ecclesiastes 3:19 and 20, Solomon wrote, For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts, even one thing befalleth them, as the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they all have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All go into one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. The Bible tells us that the whole creation is in agony, with pain and trouble abounding. Romans 8:22. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. Before the flood, the great physical disaster in human history compared to Adam's fall, the great spiritual disaster. Neither beast nor man ate flesh by the evidence we have in the Bible. Genesis 1:29 and 30. And God said, Behold, I've given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. To every beast of the earth, every fowl of the air, and everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I've given every green herb for meat, and it was so. It is difficult for us to understand how different that world was, but it was after it that beasts became afraid of man, and man was given the authority to eat them. Genesis 9:1-3. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. Christ is the only answer for our grief and suffering, for our anticipation and fear of death. Let anyone who says they are not afraid to die ask themselves what measures they take each day to ensure that they will live. Do we not consider someone who wants to commit suicide as mentally ill, or in some cases possessed by a devil? We as humans, like the beast, wish to avoid death as long as we can. Death is a specter that hangs over us all. Christ is the only answer to the question of death. Revelation 21:4. And God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. So we're going to stop there and take it up in part 2 next. I hope you'll watch the next tomorrow. If God's willing, and I can do the part 2 of this, because I have a lot to say that's important. So I'm asking you today to please read your Bible, open the Bible, and let God speak to you through his word. Study the Bible, cross-reference the verses. Pray to God for wisdom and understanding before you do either one. And then share your interpretation with someone else. Now, you can purchase my comments on Amazon. You can read them for free on blogger.com. I'll post the links below. But if you watched this video this far, would you please click like and subscribe or follow and share the video with someone else? I look forward to your comments also. You may have some things to add. So just please watch the previous videos and then be ready for the next video coming up tomorrow. Thank you.